Hi, we are team number 5 and I am Charan and my other team members are Siva, Buddi and Abdelmoneim. So today we are here to discuss about our project, Bert based question answering system on the different types of cancer that are available. So we have chosen for our context as the top 5 cancers that are available in specific to US. So the first step for our work is basically to extract the data from the internet, so that we use this type of data to based on the to ask a question and see how system is able to respond with the different types of answers, or if the type of answers is accurate or not. So let's go into details. Here is this is the different types of I'll start off with web scraping technique to collect the data. This is a web scraper related code. So I'm going to extract web. So now if you have seen, I have been able to extract some of the data from the internet for the different types of cancers that are available. So with this, now the data is extracted, I would want to process this data to look at any special characters and non-printable characters. Mind that usually the pre-processing techniques it does involve removing the stop words, but in context of the Bert, the stop words are very important to understand the context and the bidirectional attention neural networks. That's where we would have to leave the stop words in. So the next step, we would like to pre-process the data. So given that the data is now pre-processed, we would have to use this pre-processed data to feed in to understand what are the different types of topics we are dealing with the data that we have extracted. We would want to see how a topic modeling would work on the different types of topics we have chosen. So the next step would be understanding the topic modeling for these steps. Here are the topic modelings that are extracted for different types of cancer text. So for the cancer text, it speaks about breast cancer, and colorectal tract cancer, it talks about the cancer but not colorectal. If for the lung cancer, it talks about the lung cancer, and for the prostate cancer, it does talk about the prostate cancer, and for the skin cancer, it does talk about the skin cancer. So more or less, this technique has been effective in terms of understanding the topic modeling, except in one sense, which is for the colorectal transfer cancer. So this type of cancer, this type of modeling technique has got its own limitations, which we would leave it to the future work to enhance the type of topic modeling techniques we could further use to understand how well we could understand the topic based on the passage fed to it. Getting to the data, now that we have extracted the data and we have pre-processed, and we also try to understand the types of different topics that we're talking of from the topic modeling system, I would also want to quickly show you the OWL file, which would possibly look for the types of cancer we are covering about. So the first type of the cancer is the base class is a cancer, and these are the different types of cancers we are talking about. So in this specific context, our interest lies in understanding the cure, prevention, symptoms, and causes. Most of our questions are purely based on these types of context. So this is how an OWL file would look like. These are the object level properties, which would further extend to lung cancer, breast cancer, and colorectal cancer, and prostate cancer, and the skin cancer. Now that we have listed different types of question in the questions.json to understand what is the type of a breast cancer, what is the acceptable limit of alcohol, who are likely to get the breast cancer, what is the invasive lobular carcinoma. So these are different questions we would like to ask from the passage field that we are giving it. Now the data is already arranged from the way it is collected. It is already arranged here. So we would have to query these data to understand what are the types of responses we are trying to get from this data. Before getting into questioning answer system, the first thing is for us to understand how well this model is working. In order to understand how well model works, we'd have to understand the metrics of this. So this is a sample Bert extract. We are giving it to the model and trying to see what is some answer that we have chosen from this passage and what is the question we are asking. So we'd like to see how well the generated answer relates to the manual answer that we have extracted manually from the human intelligence. So now let me go ahead and run this. So we have used route score and blue score to understand the level of confidence that we could have on this model. Given Bert model is a heavy model, we would take some time to run this data through and give us the right amount of question answer system. So we would have to wait for it a couple of seconds. This abstract that we have given, the manual answer we have chosen is swelling in the face of the thing, and system has almost done the same level of matching, and the route score for this score would be about 97%, with 97 precision, and recall is about 97%, and F score is about 97%. So this is a decent level of extraction, and given that Bert is a state-of-art model at this point of time. Now we would want, given that we also understood the metrics and the confidence of the type of extraction the model is doing, we would now want to go ahead and understand the type of data that we could use for question answering. So now I'm going to run the list of questions that we're asking against this data and see how well the Bert responds for it. Again, this being a huge model, we would need some time for it to process in the local system. Complete, we would have to go and check the generated file, which is this file. So basically we asked the question, what is breast cancer, and it talks about cancer that forms in the cells of the breast, and what is the acceptable limit for the alcohol. No more than 1 drink is what the passage told. And we also asked a type of a binary question, or a one-word question, who are more likely to get the breast cancer, and it spoke about the woman. And although in this passage it does speak about having a possibility of men having this type of cancer, but it's still predominantly looking at that. It clearly said woman has a high risk of getting this cancer, and that has been rightly extracted. And we also asked a question, what is invasive lobular carcinoma, and it does speak about it. It's a granular tissue called lobules. And we also asked us, what is the estimate of inherited breast cancer from the elder generations. It also said about 5 to 10%. And it's pretty much closely have extracted the right set of answers with good amount of confidence. And this concludes that our Bert-based question answering system was able to give a right level of information based on the information feed that we have passed into it. Thank you.